Welcome everyone, Mike with Bowers Barbecue coming to you today from my backyard. Now in today's video we're going to be cooking some beef ribs. My original plan was to do this on my Weber kettle, but here in Texas it's done nothing but rain the past couple of weeks, so we're going to move this over to the Recteq Bullseye. I have it going right now here in the background under the cover. It's sunny right now, but that's going to change here in about a couple hours, so we want to make sure that thing's protected. As far as the cook today, it's going to be a really simple one. We're going to use some Meat Church Holy Gospel, a little bit of pepper. It's going to be fantastic. So let's go ahead and get these things started. I have my cooking crocs on. All we have to do now is start the fire. Actually, it's already lit. So the beef ribs here, good 3 pounds. Get these trimmed up.
As far as trimming goes, I get very aggressive here. I take most of the fat cap off as there's a lot of fat inside the beef rib itself that'll keep it moist. Not really worried about it like I would be on a brisket. Pretty much take it down all the way to the meat.
All right, probably didn't get much out of my trimming video, but basically took the fat cap, not completely off, but trimmed it up quite a bit. This beef rib has a lot of fat within it, so the fat cap is as important as it is on a brisket. All right. Start things off here. We're gonna do a mustard binder on this one. Sometimes I don't use mustard, but today I just had the inkling to do so. Just a quick layer. Make sure to get the sides. We're gonna do a little bit on the back. As far as seasoning goes, we're gonna use my favorite seasoning of all time, Meat Church Holy Gospel. On the back of the beef ribs, I never trimmed that membrane because it helps hold them together. And it's hard as crap to do. But I don't do much seasoning on the back. We're gonna do this pretty heavy. Get a nice bark. All right, that looks pretty good. Now I like to also go back over the layer of coarse black pepper. We're gonna let this sit for about 20 minutes while the bullseye comes to temp. See, it's bullseye. All right, for today's setup, we have the bullseye run with a water pan underneath the cooking grate. I like to keep the moisture in there when I'm cooking for a long cook, such as beef ribs. Go ahead and set these directly over the water pan. We'll see these again in a couple of hours when I come to spritz. So I didn't tell you earlier, I had this set to low. I'm gonna keep it on the low setting, probably until I wrap, then I'll bump it up to 225. So let's open up the lid and take a look. Not too bad. They are looking a little dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and spritz them. It's time for a new spritzer, but in this bottle I have water and pickle juice. All right, we'll check on these in a couple of hours. Okay, these beef ribs have been on for about 5 hours. Low setting, so I was hovering around 200. Let's see how they look. Pretty decent bark on here. I noticed a little pull from the bone. I'm gonna rotate these, spritz them, probably go another 30 minutes, an hour before I wrap. All right, before we wrap, we're gonna give them one final spritz. Do the paper just a little bit here as well. I'm gonna try something new on this one here. I have a little bit of beef tallow. I say a little bit, I have a lot that's chilled. I'll place this right on top here. And we're gonna let that melt into the ribs as they finish. All right, this butcher paper's looking pretty good. If you want a butcher paper of your own, check out the comments below. There's a link to the paper that I use. Definitely appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything extra. All right, let's get this back on the smoker. I'm over this rain. I know there's times I wish I had more of it, but all it has done here in Texas is rain. Hopefully these ribs finish up before it gets too bad. Otherwise, I may finish them in the oven. All right, the thermometer on the Recteq's reading about 200 degrees. Let's see what it probes at. Probes pretty good. That says 186, where the Recteq says 200. Keep hitting boom. Right here where I hit meat, it feels pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it. Okay, so to recap that cook, we put those beef ribs on about 9 a.m. Did it on the low setting on the Recteq Bullseye using hickory pellets. We smoked that for about 6 hours before wrapping. We wrapped in butcher paper, cooked another 2 hours so it reached an internal temperature. I want to say about 200 degrees. At that point in time, we pulled off, and I have it set on my counter. Now we're gonna let it rest for about an hour. So as you saw, there was a difference in the temperature between the Thermopin and the Recteq Bullseye. I believe the Bullseye, as y'all know, that Thermopin has given me fits since I've had it. So, but using it for the probe for tenderness, it felt really tender. So I think setting on the counter for an hour, letting it rest, and those juices reabsorb, it's gonna be a tender piece of meat. Could be wrong, but I highly doubt it. But while we're waiting for the ribs to cool, I want to tell you about the sponsor of this video. Today's video is brought to you by Fantastical Vacations by Mike. I'm that Mike. I'm now a Disney travel advisor. If you're looking for a Disney vacation, whether it be Disney World, a Disney cruise, Disneyland, or even Aulani out in Hawaii, Fantastical Vacations by Mike can definitely take care of you. The website is below, thedisman.com. Browse the site. If there's a vacation that you'd like to get a free, no obligation quote on, be sure to contact them. Okay, this has been resting for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Let's see what it looks like. Look at that tallow. That's completely saturated the paper. Oh, is this still hot? Man, this looks good. That's hot, folks. I may get this a little bit more time to rest a little bit, but good gracious, this thing is beautiful looking. I can say that tallow trick definitely makes it look pretty. I'm gonna let this set about 5 minutes more unwrapped before I slice into it. Okay, this thing still pretty hot. Man, we have to eat dinner, so I'm going to cut into it. We'll flip it on this side to cut along the bone. This looks amazing. Check that out, y'all. This beef rib is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Nice moisture. God, that looks good. Let's give it a shot. All right, let's give this a try. Pretty decent bark on there. Tons of juice. This thing looks good. That was amazing. That hickory smoke actually came through. Tell me, lumberjack pellets, hickory, these are the most smoke flavor you're gonna find on a pellet grill. I really like that. The tenderness Wasn't quite there. I think the thermopin might have been closer. It was probably about that 190 range. So a little chew to it, but not fall apart, and not too tough to chew. So I like that a lot. This was a successful cook. The rain never came, but it did take a long time to cook since I did do it at 200 degrees. It's now 6:30 here when I'm filming. We started this at 9, so this is a good 9.5 hour process there. I would like to have given it maybe 30, 45 more minutes on the smoker, but that's okay. We live and learn. Sometimes we just need to learn to start a little bit sooner. All right, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. And make sure you don't miss a single video, ring that notification bell. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. The fire is out.